I'm just now going to do my knee assessment. So I've got prior consent, and we're just going to go through. He's got no previous history of any knee injuries or no injuries at present, so we're good to go. Firstly, I'm just going to look at his static posture and standing. So make my way up from his feet, knees, hips. First of all, looking at his feet. So even just in standing, you can see that he's a little bit externally rotated on his left side. We'll just bring him into kind of neutral position and just ask him to stand. So first of all, looking at his just kind of general foot posture. Is he overpronated? Is he oversupinated? But generally, he's got a nice neutral arch, and they're well maintained. Moving up to his knees, just looking at kind of general observation. Has he got much muscle wastage in his quads or in his calves? Are his knees in alignment? Looking at just the tops of the talus and the bottom of the talus. And then moving up to his hips. I just get you to roll that up a little bit further, please. I'm just going to put hands on ASIS and looking to see, are these in line with other, or is there a lateral pelvic tilt? If I just get you to turn to your side from the place. So again, just looking at general postural, general alignment. Has he got a significant lumbar lordosis? Again, going on to ASIS and PSIS. And again, seeing is there a significant anterior pelvic tilt or posterior pelvic tilt. Looking at his knees again. Is he able to keep his knees in nice, correct alignment? Is he, maybe lacking a little bit of end range extension? And again, looking at his feet. And if I just get you to face it away from me, please, Jim. And again, from behind, we can go on to the ASIS and look for any lateral pelvic shift. Looking at his knees, again, nice alignment, and looking at his ankles. Is there any obvious varus or valgus movement at his ankles? But yeah, it's good. Jim, if I can get you to lie on your back for a bit, please. So I'm just going to do all my active and passive and resisted range of movements on one leg, just so you can see it in the camera. So first of all, just looking at general observation, getting them into a nice correct position, looking to see if there's any obvious swelling, bruising, any wastage in the quads, any wastage in the calves. Just having a quick log roll of his hips, and just going to start kind of going through palpation. First of all, just looking for any kind of swelling or any obvious swelling with the sweep. So sweeping initially from medial, from distal to proximal, and then bringing a downward sweep, and seeing if we can see any swelling. The knee looks very dry, but normally if we would grade that from a trace up to a grade 3. So again, just having a quick feel of his patella, giving it like a lateral medial glide. Is there any apprehension? Is there any pain? Is there any obvious laxity at the patella? And having a quick feel around distal quads. And I bring him into flexion, just do the rest of the operation, just sit on his foot. Having a quick feel of his patella, tibial tuberosity, medial joint line, lateral joint line, MCL and LCL. Again, looking for any, tender areas, any apprehension or any kind of swelling around those areas. Just bringing them back down. I'm just going to go through active range of movement. Can you just bend this knee up for me as far as it goes? Good, and back down. Can you just push your knee down into the bed as far as it goes? So again, look and see if there's any hyperextension and comparing that on the opposite side. So next, just to go through passive range of movement. I'm just going to bring his knee and just slow this, kind of put a little bit of overpressure on it. Again, look for any pain or apprehension. And coming back down and give it a little bit of overpressure into hyperextension. Again, see if there's any pain or apprehension with that. But again, looks all good. Next, I'm just going to go through some resisted tests. So first one, just to do inner range quads. So can you just push up against my hand? Good. We're grading that activity on the Oxford muscle scale between 0 and 5. Next thing, just toes back, knee nice and straight. Just lift off the bed a little bit. And again, just resist me as I push down. Good. So that's just again, resisted pause, but a little bit more bias on the rep then. And lastly, just resist those quads through range. So again, if you just push it against my hand, push, 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 push. Good. Go. And we'll just test, while we're here, we'll test hamstring and min range. So again, just don't let me push out. Good, thank you. And once we get them over in prone, we can do hamstring through range and kind of easier range. Next one is going to look through kind of some special tests. Firstly, bring him up into 90 degrees flexion. Just going to sit on his foot. Make sure hamstrings are nice and relaxed. I'm going to do what's called a anterior drawer, so it's an ACL test. So just giving a posterior anterior force and looking to see what his anterior, if there's much anterior translation of his tibia and his femur. Again, we can grade that. We're looking for a nice hard endpoint. In that same position, we can do his PCL. So again, going from anterior to a posterior force, and looking to see are we getting much posterior translation on that tibia. Good, it's coming down. Next one is doing his McMurray's for his meniscus. So again, we're trying to pinch that meniscus on the inside of his knee, test his medial meniscus. So we're rotating, and then we can bring it through various ranges going from flexion to extension, or internal and external rotation. And again, similar, if we rotate his meniscus the opposite way. Good, and we can feel along his joint line to see if there's any obvious crepitus. Again, look for any pain, apprehension, any clunks, any clicks. Good. Next, just check his collateral ligament. So firstly, his MCL. So initially at 0 degrees, so just giving a valgus force. Good, and then to isolate his MCL a little bit more, just bringing it into 30 degrees. And again, giving that valgus force, looking for any obvious laxity or any pain or apprehension. Through his LCL, so again, 0 degrees. Giving that varus force, and again, just isolate it a little bit. Giving that varus force again, looking for any obvious laxity. Can I get you to flip over onto your front for me, please? Actually, one last thing in this position. Just going to do some neural tests before we flip you over. So just going to do a straight leg raise. So if I just get you to relax that leg for me, and I'm just going to lift it up as far as you can. Okay. Good, and bring it back down. And then just going to do an ankle dorsiflex again passively, just to put a little bit more stretch onto that neuro. I'm just going to lift it up again. And back down, seeing if we can reproduce any of the symptoms that we're looking for. So if I get you to flip over onto your front. Perfect, again, so in prone, just having, again, a bit of an observation. Is there any obvious swelling? Is there any heat? Is there any redness, any bruises, any scars? Again, looks all good. So again, and over doing this leg, we're going to move on to this leg so I can show you in the camera. So look good, just going to bring him up. And again, first of all, let's do actively. Can you bring this heel right up towards your back as far as it goes? Good, and back down. If you just bring your leg to here and hold it there, and don't let me push down. So checking his hamstrings in various ranges. And here, don't let me bring it down. Good, and bring it right in towards your back and keep it there. Good, I'm just going to bring it through range. So resist me, resist me, resist me, resist me. Good, and just another special test while we're here. Looking at a dial test. So bring them down to 30 degrees for posterior lateral corner. And we're just going to bring both. Externally rotate both tibias. Again, looking for any pain, apprehension. Is there any laxity or increased movement on one side in comparison to the other? But again, look good. Also in this position, we can have a feel for the posterior lateral corner around that area where the various structures meet. And I will palpate along his posterior joint line and popliteus, looking at his distal hamstring tendons, having a feel to see if there's any areas of significant discomfort, areas of swelling, or other things along those lines. In this area as well, we can check gastroc. So in this position, if I just bring you down a little bit further, good, and just bring your ankle in the way, if you just want to push out against my hand. Good, so just bring his gastroc through range, as the two joint muscle crosses over into his knee joint as well. Perfect. Oh, one last one as well. We're going to do an Apley's test, just a further meniscus test. So put a little bit of compression just down through his tibia, and then give a rotationary force. Again, see if we have any obvious crepitus, any clumps, any clicks, or any pain with that movement. Perfect. Jimmy, if I just get you to stand up, and we just go through some functional tests. So you just have a stand there. And the first thing I'd like you to do is just going to go through the squats. If you put both hands over your chest, and I just want you to do 3 squats for me. Perfect. So we're looking to see, is he weight bearing on both sides equal? Is he able to accept force onto one side in comparison to the other? We're looking to see how his ankles move during that squat movement. Is one side over pronating? Is it able to tolerate that weight? Same as his knees. Is he adducting? Is he internally rotating? Is he dropping into a drop knee or into a bow-legged or a genie verum or genie valgum position? And again, looking at his hips. Are they moving nicely? Is he quad dominant? Is he hip dominant? Is he kind of over flexing through his lumbar spine? Next thing, if you have a look at a lunge. So if I get you to lunge, drop hands both down to the side. If I get you to lunge onto your right and then onto your left. Perfect. So it's again just a little bit more kind of putting a bit more emphasis on the single leg. Is he willing to can he tolerate accepting weight onto his left and his right? When he comes down, how is his control around his hip, his knee, his ankle? Is he able to maintain a nice neutral ankle? Is he able to maintain a nice neutral knee? And is he able to maintain a nice neutral hip? Next one, if you just have to stand on one leg, and can you do 3 single leg knee bends for me? Good, so exact same thing. Looking how he maintains around his ankle. Is he dropping into pronation? At his knee and his hip, is he dropping into adduction and internal rotation? And it's, again, similar to his hip and his lumbar spine. Is he able to maintain that nice neutral posture? And just in this position as well, just another test for meniscus is, can you just do a little bit of a duck walk for me? So this has been shown to be a nice way again. If you can't get anything with the meniscus test, to see if he's got any symptoms. Perfect, thank you. And just one last test. You just have to sit on the edge of the bed, and this is just a further neural test. It's called a stump test. If I get you to put both hands behind your back, and if you slump down into really bad sitting position, bring your chin right in towards your chest. So on this foot, if you bring your toes up as far as they go, and then I want you to lift up as far as comfortable. Good, and back down. And if you just do that again one more time, toes up, back towards you. And if we're getting any symptoms with that, we might be able to just take his head off to see if that relieves it or aggravates it. Good, and relax back. Perfect, thank you, Jimmy.